back and see if this works. See whether I've completely messed up Lewis Rossman's setup. Hello everybody. Yes, I am Mr. Paul Rossman. My associate, Lewis Daniels, is no longer here with us. He's sitting down in the basement with Chlorodite at the moment. They're trying to work out how to get out of there. So, you've got to deal with me. And I don't know if I'm going to do justice for this stream, but, well, I guess we'll see how we go. By God, the chat screams up on this. Wow. Well. No wonder Lewis loses his mind with the chat, because there is just... How the heck am I supposed to keep track of all this? This is madness. Madness. Sparta. No, this is not Lewis Rossman. I'm very sorry. Lewis is actually having a good time, which I'm glad to hear. Whereas the rest of us, poor plebs, have to work for a living. Well, he can just sit back and let people like me destroy his life. Okay. Hello from South Africa. Hiya. That's not South African. Hundit. Yeah. Infamous Paul Daniels. Yes, this is me. So anyway, Lewis has just asked me to sit in and do a job. I do have a job. I've got a MacBook, so you're not completely out of your element. We've got a 3115 here. It's completely dead, so hopefully I can fix it. And at least you all won't be so traumatized by the fact that someone different is doing it. Because whenever my favorite streamers have a guest streamer in, I'm always up. I'm not a big fan of it. I always think it kills the mood. But here I am on the other side of the camera, and I guess I'm going to have to hope that you don't judge me so harshly. Such is life. And if you do, well, complain to Lewis, because I really don't give a crap. Alright, let's get to this one. Let's see, is my program good or not? My program is actually in a quantum uncertainty state. You can only determine if it's good or not by purchasing it, installing it, and trying it. And you will not get your money back. That is a certain definite thing that's going to happen. So there's no uncertainty there. You will get to lose your money. Alright, how's the PP bus? Who knows? I've got to go back through this restream because it's crazy. Adam Treadwell, hello from Sydney. Morning from Germany, Guts and Morgan. What could go wrong? Everything could go wrong. Yes. If you don't know who I am, I'm the person that does Lewis's software. I'm the person that Lewis hates because I keep breaking everything. Well, really, we all know that it's actually Lewis who is a bad user. Alright, I'm just got to get my gloves on. I forgot to do that. I was meant to stream about half an hour ago, but unfortunately I had customers who did not turn up on time. Alright. What smartphone do I use? Oh, you guys are going to hate that. There we go. A rose gold iPhone 6s Plus, complete with a crack and a cheap aftermarket screen. And I play Best Fiends on it, so yep. And it's only going to get worse if you ask me what my laptop is. Why are there two streams? Is there two streams? There should be one for Twitch, I think. Filthy users ruining perfect good user interface. Absolutely. Ignore the chat. Will do. Lewis Rossman is so hot. Why, thank you. So I'm afraid you will have to entertain yourselves somewhat within the chat, because I'm not used to this sort of level of activity. Alright, so this is not working apparently. And what's also not working is the number of cables hanging out of my desk here. Guess what, Paul? It's not a MagSafe 2, it's MagSafe 1. Voldol Jesus is here. How have you not died from using an aftermarket screen yet? I've got special powers, because remember, I actually live in the secret society of the Flat Earthers. I'm here on behalf of NASA, doing a lot of hard work, keeping up the whole round Earth theory. It's been doing pretty damn good at it. Okay, I'm just going to see what my voltage is. I just realised I don't do a lot of work on the 3115s, so I don't know everything off by the top of my head. So I'm going to need all in. And we don't need to see that. That was Lewis's face there. Alright. I need my PP bus. There's my 3V42. This should be... Who am I kidding? I don't know where I am. Why don't I have my butterfly mode on? There we go. Butterfly mode is on. G3 hot. I'm trying to decide which way I want it. There we go. I'll take it that way kindly. I should have known it was that resistor. I really should be checking 3G42, but I'm going to check hot anyway. Absolutely diddly squat. Alrighty. That's a bad start already. Hello, Yuni Yamara. Good to see you, mate. I haven't heard from you for a while. I hope you're doing okay. I'm just going to take this board out. When I looked at the... When I look at the bottom of the case, you see there's a bit of liquid here, a bit of liquid here. So that sort of translates to nothing important. Smack bang around the SMC, so I'm just going to take it out. Besides, it's more entertaining that way. Lewis is watching my work. Oh dear God. I'm not the paddle pop lion. I'm not exactly sure what that refers to, but it sounds mildly interesting. Okay, let's get my T6s. Let's get back to full overhead. Hello Spain, flat earthers are... We certainly are very real. My goodness sir, you're talking to one right now. Australia doesn't exist. A figment of your imagination, a construct in the system. Okay. I'm going to start getting my groany voice on soon, where I forget to enunciate things properly. And I just sit here and I remember doing myself and I Chief Wiggum you all. And I start sounding like the great late Bob Hawke. Yeah. Alright, that's out. I really should stop chattering quite so much and just get on with the job. I don't have enough light in here. I've left the lights off. And if you... is Hi around? I need Hi. Hi should be shilling the heck out of my website or something. If he's not here, then my slave Lewis should be doing it. And if he's not here, I'm going to have to rely on the goodwill of people, in which case I'm doomed. Hey Shulent, hey Q's, hey Ryan Lyons from New Zealand. How's it going, mate? New Zealand's a pretty damn good country. I mean, geez, they've even got their own rocket launching now. I mean, how's that? That's pretty damn good going. Unlike us crazy Australians, where we like to stick with the conservative old ways. No advancing technology for us, no siree. We'll stick to our nice shiny black rocks that we can burn. We're not going to the future. America is actually a warehouse full of guns. Yep, that certainly is. Did you ever fix the 15-inch touch bar that you're talking about? The resistor value on that? I did, yes. I can't remember exactly the details, but I do remember fixing it, and it yeah, got out there and is now living a happily ever after life. Let's see. Okay, so here we go, 3115. Like I say, I could keep diagnosing this like an idiot. I have forgotten to undo these. This catches me out every now and then. The LCD retainer bracket. And then of course my favorite that I always complain about and no one has ever helped me with, and that is getting the microphone out. Where do flat earthers think the rockets go? Into a moving roof? No, they crash back out down into the ocean, and that's it. After it switches over to CGI mode, it's just back down to the ocean. So at least that part with Elon Musk is true. Yeah, he catches them and reuses them for the next one. It's a brilliant scam. Lewis complains about your updates all the time, but he knows he can't live without your software, I'm guessing. Yes, Lewis complains about the updates, but he actually doesn't do updates. Or he complains about a bug, so I do an update to fix the bug, and it fixes the bug, and he still doesn't update. Lewis is actually a software user that we need to clone more of. And instead of spending billions of dollars on software testing and things like that, we should be spending billions of dollars on more Lewis's. So, because Lewis has an uncanny ability to take my software and find a perfectly unreasonable way of using it, and then complaining to me in front of everybody. Why didn't my software automatically switch? Well, I'm just going to have a squiz over this board. And for those of you who don't know what squiz means, it's sort of just a have a look over, have a gander, inspect. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a 60 frame per second HDMI input, so this is going to seem a little laggy. So for any of you who have been on the drink, I suggest you now look away before you throw up in a violent manner. Yeah, Lewis is just messing around. But, I mean, the software, all jokes aside, the software does do a pretty good job. Of course, I've got to use it myself. And I mean, that's pretty much what the whole driving point was originally, is that I've got to use it, so I need to be good enough for my own work. Oh man. There's a bit of corrosion down the bottom there, but it was nothing that was jumping out at me. I basically just take these out so that I can get a chance to just check to see if there is any corrosion going. They're old enough now that they could have secondary corrosion just slowly building up. That is pretty dead though. I'm gonna have to actually use the multimeter soon. Oh look there, there's some caps there that are a bit shonky. Was that Jessa's word, shonky, or was that one I know all along? I've lost my... the blue screwdrivers are just... I'm streaming to both Lewis's channel. I'm just streaming to one restream source and that's it. So it could be actually my upstream. This is actually a high peak time in Australia. These are just my Precision Torx drivers from King Chrome, which is a domestic brand, I guess. They do a pretty good job. MCP failure? I don't like you already, sir. Let's see, who said that? Aaron Moffat. Yeah, thanks Aaron. And to think I was nice to you today. Actually, I doubt it is MCP. Well, I'll be surprised if it's MCP because we're not even getting anything. Like I said, I haven't brought out the multimedia yet because I just want to check over, look for anything obvious. It could be one of the beloved shorts around the audio chip, which I get fairly frequently. Yeah, let's see what those two are looking like anyway. And then if we can't pick out an obvious thing, we'll just have to start using our brains. Lewis will be very disappointed. Oh, that's excellent. What's going on here? Oh. Right. You're good. You're good. Okay, so it's not direct. Yes, Lewis set up the restream. He just gave me the need to know information. As far as I can tell, it should only be going to the one place. I think I'm going to have to actually start diagnosing this. Oh, that's just going to suck. I was hoping to cruise this one. Guess that's not going to happen. JTAG connector. I don't believe... I'm really hoping for just a great big fat green blob somewhere. So I mean, these are sort of green, but that's trivial. Damn it. I have to use the brain. I've been using my brain all day. I don't want to have to... It's currently 7:30. Yeah, using the brain is not part of the protocol. How the hell does Lewis keep up this chat? I don't know. What's this? That just looks like a bit of snot that got flicked off by someone. It's not even a good piece. No satisfaction in that one. Now, if you do want to... If you wonder where I come from, if you don't know who I am, then if you search Paul Daniels on YouTube, and I'm the young looking fella, I'm not the dead magician, okay? So it should be pretty easy to differentiate between us. He also doesn't have much hair, whereas I do. Although mine is starting to thin out a bit from all the stress of dealing with YouTube channels. Stuff this I gotta do brain work now. It's all your fault. Normally I can just get these and they're a nice easy big blob of green, but no. It had to be a brain one. 725 now? 724.50 by here. Nah. Bad connector, power plug, possibly. We're about to go and chase this one down the rabbit hole. Let's see. Could be just a bad DCN, that'd be a laugh. Total laugh. They got 15 milliamp in. Alright. Let's go. Damn it, I haven't got a favourites for the... Okay. Add a favourite. This is another feature I wish Lewis would use more often, instead of complaining that he has to page down through a bunch of things. Power sequence. Add. Okay, so that sets up our power sequences. This is power rails. Add. You see, I don't use the 3115s very often. Okay. Yes, sorry, Psycho Cop. My software actually works, I know. Hello, Sonia. I didn't see you directly, but Flux. No, this is a 3115. It's definitely significantly younger than the 2009. This is only about 6 or 7 years old. Alright, now you see, normally when doing this sort of work, I know what I'm doing, but right now, because I'm all nervous and excited because I'm abusing Lewis's channel, I'm forgetting everything. Okay, what do we got? Okay, so we got 18 through the polyfuse. Why am I measuring the polyfuse? No one cares about the polyfuse. Okay, power sequence. Okay. See how that just jumped straight back to the power sequence how I wanted. Let's see, D6990. Let me guess, you're on the wrong side, aren't you? No, you're not. You're just upside down. Upside down because I'm here in Australia. Why don't you perform? J-Tree, what do you mean by perform? What sort of performance are you talking about? We got the 17.3. Nothing. Okay. Crikey. Just shorted it out, mate. No, I didn't really, but... Yeah, we've got our 342. Headphones unplugged. What? No, definitely got audio there. Hey, Norm Rogers. Let's see. Andrew, yes, I'm up in North Queensland of Australia. The glorious state of Queensland, the dumbest state in Australia at this point, because thanks to us, we re-elected somebody that I probably would have rather not re-elect. But to be fair, it was not really a good option this election. Okay, I got my 342. We've got SMC reset. U55 tap. No. Good on you, mate. One feature I do want to add to this is a picture-in-picture type effect, so that I can, when I'm zoomed in on the board, I can actually see what area I'm zoomed in on. I'm not in South Africa. Ich nie, man. I shouldn't talk like that. Ach nee, Afrikaans praat nie, man. I know a few swear words, that's about it. Let's see, SMC reset. Oh, that top pin there, which is that pad there. Okay, we've got SMC reset. Lewis is probably screaming at me right now. Make sure we've got... Where am I from? I am from Australia. I am Australian. I'm North Queensland. A little gold town called Charters Towers, which is inland from the Powerpuff City, which is Townsville. Nothing. They get nothing on there. It's almost like Q5310 hasn't been turned on. Except it's Q78. No. Man, I would love to be able to speak multiple languages fluently. But, yeah, I can't. I can barely speak English fluently. Q8075. I just don't seem to be getting Andrew Persh, you've been to Charles Towers before. Oh, okay. What were you doing in this horrible part of the world? Out of focus. Out of focus. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got that. You mumble perfectly good English. Should do. It'd be a bit problematic if I didn't. So we're not getting anything through there. So the gate. Okay, so this is a P channel, and the way you can tell is that this cute little arrow on the whole gate assembly is pointing outwards because it's Ping out, as opposed to the N channel which takes it in. So yeah, it's Ping out, so we need this to drop below. So we'll see what our gate voltage is. And gate voltage does not appear to be pulled down. You're riding your motorbike through Queensland. Oh, cool. Hopefully you didn't do that in the middle of summer or anything. That'd be just ludicrous. Okay. Charge A gate. We could just have a dead U7000 if that's not being pulled down. A76. What do we got there? Almost full voltage. Definitely full voltage. So it's barely pulling that down. Whereas we should really be seeing half if that's being pulled down. Oh wait, I was looking at wrong one. Alright, see if AC in's being detected. 7005. You screaming yet, Lewis? Okay, that's fine. Output. It's fine. No, I'm not looking at the chat. Well, actually, no, I'm looking at the restream chat, so yeah. Let's see. Now, let me shill the hell out of myself. So. Okay, let's see what pin 3 of U7000 is. That's out there. And they'll tell us whether it thinks it can even see anything coming in on the AC. Brian Meister, hello. Yeah, really I'm just a convenient filler here, as opposed to a convenient fella. 425. Yeah, that seems about right for ACN, I think. ACN 3.2, so yep. Yeah, no pressure at all. It's only a Lewis judgment. But that's okay because, yeah, if he wants to get all judgy and stuff like that, I can just give him a project, a programming project, and see how he goes with that. And, yeah, given his tenacity, I'm sure he would do a reasonably good job. I'm just measuring pin 13 now. What? Losing my brain here. 3.4. Why was I measuring 13? Ah, SMC reset. Think. Yeah, let's check 1920. Geckos say hello. Okay, we got no voltage on 1920. Well, certainly on. So 5V1 charge of EDD. That's G7000. That's what I'm on, isn't it? Yes. So, do we have a dead G7000? Wouldn't surprise me. But it's not to say I'm right. Yeah, if Lewis was here, he'd be whinging big time about everything about the software. Okay, so 19... Okay, we got a short on that. That's the problem. So this here is shorted. Fantastic. So 19 is a short. Ah, 7001. So, well, if it's a short, let's see. We could that be shorted? I sort of doubt it would be. Pin 19 is definitely down for the count. C7000, that could also be shorted. Yeah, I just like doing that because when I'm watching streams, it really annoys me when the person gets the beep and they still keep pressing it. Paul, please can you say what Linux distro you use? And I use Ubuntu, whatever it is at the moment. I think this is 1810. So I'm really not I'm not a person who picks up custom stuff or does tweaking or anything like that. You know, I get a lot of people ask me, so, oh man, Paul, yeah, do all this stuff. You must like have all your own awesome individual tweaks on your software and stuff. And I honestly just don't really get the inclination to modify. Like my car is stock standard, my phone's stock standard. I don't put custom ROMs on or anything. I'm a really boring guy. So yeah, when people go, what distro are you using? I'm like, well, just stock standard Ubuntu. Okay, to be fair, okay, I kind of lie. I do change the desktop. I use Fluxbox desktop because everybody loves Flux. Remember, if you need Flux, don't delay, buy today from LewisRassmanStore.com. Of course, you have to drop the Lewis bit because then that won't even work. Unfortunately, I can't do accents very well, so I pretty much used up all my accent energy just on doing that. Where is Lewis? Lewis hopefully is having fun. And if he's not, I'm going to be very upset with him. I do also run Mac. My laptop is a Mac. And our short is gone, so it was our ISL. My voice is broken today. Yes, well, Lewis actually got an upgrade. Me. Okay, I gotta find an ISL 6295. That is an ISL 6295, isn't it? Yep. And the short is gone, it's gone away. Like my ability to sing. I cannot sing. This one actually looks pretty damn good. I don't believe I have any new ISL 6295s, 659s. It's funny, I put a video up on my channel today and it was for the Acer. Oh gee, I can't even remember now what it was. Someone remember what the Acer was that I put up? But anyway, I transposed the numbers in it on the title and in the picture and everything. I didn't even realise. I didn't know until someone commented and said, like, are you dyslexic or something? And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I am. Paul's hostile business takeover. Oh, come on. You guys love that stuff. America loves hostile takeovers. It's the staple diet of capitalism. Without hostile takeovers, what have you got to live for? Nothing. Don't you all want to be like American Psycho? With your beautifully printed business cards in off eggshell white with a beautiful texture, and then find out someone else just one-upped you and you want to kill them. That's just the American way. Alright. 5724. Thank you, Derek. Or was it a 5742? Have I ever been to the States? No, I have not. And unfortunately for Lewis, I'm just going to switch over to main screen here. Unfortunately for Lewis, I really don't have a strong inclination to go to the United States. The only time I ever wanted to go to that continent was actually to go to Canada. Because, well, yeah, the X-Files, Scully, yeah, all the good things are in Canada. And all the drama is in America, the United States. So, yeah, I was just going to skip the United States. But now I've got Lewis saying, Paul, can you come and visit me in the United States? I can't even do Lewis's voice. If there's one thing I greatly admire about Lewis, is his incredible ability to mimic people. My favourite voice of all with him is his whiny customer voice. I think he could do quite a TV series or an audio series with that. The whiny customer. Let's see. I would die in Canada. Why would I die in Canada? I mean, I know it's freezing cold. You listen and watch too much leftist media. Maybe. Are you saying that because of my dissenting view on the United States in general, or because I believe in solar panels and I don't hate Elon Musk? I know. He posted that they're going to run out of money in 10 months. I thought that was actually pretty amusing. Lewis is on vacation, but I'm not. Am I from South Africa? No, I'm not from South Africa. This will be a bit of a laugh for most people who know Australia in general. I'm actually from Adelaide. I am, South Australian. But I grew up all over Australia. I grew up in Townsville. I grew up in Jabiru, which is a uranium mine in the Northern Territory. I grew up down in the coal mines in Darling Downs. So, yeah, I've been around. But I have visited South Africa. I was over there for 4 years. From 1996. And it was an excellent life. Let's see, I swear someone asked if I was, if I'd ever experienced cold. Not really. To be honest, I mean, I don't have enough flux. The coldest I've ever been is probably about -2 centigrade, which is absolutely nothing. And that was when I was in South Africa, driving along a nice dark road, and my car was warning me that there was black ice. And I was like, what the hell's black ice? And then the car decided that having control was not really an option. That was fun. But it did warn me. On the control panel it said black ice warning. How do you repair the board upside down? Very skillfully. Let's see if that short's back there. You ever want to come to the States, you can crash on my couch. I'll tell you what, I will let you guys all duke it out to see who gets to put up with me. Okay, we don't have a short there anymore. So, lobster, black ice is when water freezes on the road, on the bitumen, and you just can't see it. And so you start driving on it, and because it's super slippery, you lose traction of the car, and then you crash and die. Alright, let's see if we get any explosive effects. I have a feeling we're not going to, but... Boo! Well, we do have current now. We are up to 750. That's weird. Why am I still not getting this? Let's try the other way. Okay, so now we're 35. What's going on here? Still no green light, so we may have actually lost the SMC. Is that possible? Shoot, now I know why. Okay. This is why... This is bad. Anyone want to recognize what that is? Yeah. It's a great big piece of solder. Okay, Sparkies. Sleep well. Did Paul kill the computer? Personally, I blame Lewis for that. He put that piece of solder on the bench top. Hi Paul, hi chat. If I don't have 2 finals until... Oh, hey, hi. You got finals? Alright. Enjoy the study. I just put a fan on, just in the possibly off chance that it is still coming up, but I've got an indicator issue. Yeah, great. So we've got a fan spin. Good for us. But our MagSafe's not coming up. I'd be curious to see if we've got CPU activity. Oh, this is one of those three-way USB sticks. You're gonna... Oh, we do have... It's fixed! It's fixed. Well, why wasn't it giving me MagSafe before? It's booting. It's fine. It's a nice cool breeze too. Yeah, unplug that. I just want to try it again. See if I can stick my fat head in this. No, well the LED is now working, so that was the weird thing. Capture, add existing face cam. Oops. There we go. We've got to trim this up though. Control Alt Shift. Box me in. There we go. Took me ages to work out that Control Alt Shift combo. Okay, let's try that again just to be sure it wasn't a... I see. It spins, but the MagSafe is not coming up. To be fair, this is a fake, so we'll try it with the original. Nope. This is an original, genuine Mac one. And it doesn't have power turned on. You're kidding me. So we really do look like we've got other issues here. Oh no. I think my connector's dead. So we've got green, we've got spin, we've got CPU activity. I think we can declare this one a fix. Dodgy DC input. I think it's actually dodgy connector on this one. I believe at some point in the past I had a whopping short happen across there, and it subsequently killed that on one side. What's the USB stick for? That lets me know if there's CPU activity, and it's got a bootable distribution on it. I'm just going to Control Delete, and so I know. Oops. Control Alt Shift. There we go. So I know that if I get the fan spin, I get the green light, and I get the activity on the stick, then everything really should be going. Because there are plenty of times where you can get fan spin and MagSafe, but you still got a dead CPU, which often happens on things like the 165s. I've got quite a few of those completely dead. So yeah, it's already fixed. Alright. Kaz, yes, I am Paul Daniels, the non-magician. So that's fixed. I'm not going to bother putting that back into the chassis or anything like that tonight. It doesn't even have a hard drive anyway. What other torturous things can I do? I did have a bunch of things I need to do. I can't find them. Okay, excuse me for a second. I've got to go get the next job. Magnetic pad with too many iPhone blue thingamajigs. My head keeps getting cropped up, so lift that and drop that. Bring me a sandwich. No thanks, Apex, you can get me one. Danny, you've never heard anyone call it a chassis. Okay. I've always called them chassis, because to me case doesn't... yeah. Alright. Most of you probably won't recognise what these are. Certainly not iPhones, that's for sure. Yeah, they're Androids, but they're the ZTE T84. It's marketed as the Telstra Tough Phone here in Australia. And until recently I used to be able to get replacement screens for these, but all of a sudden the stock just disappeared. So I'm up the creek a bit, but fortunately this person already had a dead one that had a good screen, but they have got the smash screen, so we're just going to do a swappy of the board. Get our T8. Dear Paul Daniels, what is your favourite thing about not living in the United States? Yeah, given that I haven't lived in the United States, I guess I can't really make a fair answer on that. But the favourite thing about living in Australia, perhaps, is... yeah, that's a tough question. Not one I can really answer straight off the top of my head for some reason. I suppose we're still a young country. There's plenty of opportunities. That's starting to not feel like that a bit. I know one thing I do miss that the United States does have, and that is cheap houses and land. Well, certainly cheap houses. Like, I watch some house flipping shows, or where people just take some beaten up place for $10,000-12,000, and yeah, they flip it up for like, cost them $60,000 or something like that, and they got a perfectly good home. You can barely get a piece of land here in Australia for $60,000, let alone a house. Do I have insurance? I saw someone just say, yes, I do have insurance. That's pretty much an essential thing for the business. Would you prefer chicken or ham sandwiches, mate? Well, I'll tell you right now, for any of you out there, there's no delivery services out here. And I do have dinner coming anyway. But I do certainly appreciate the thought. Okay. Yep, they've left the SD chip in here. 2 gigs of data. Get big time serious there. Alright, the fun thing with these is cracking them open. Hey D, health insurance. Yes, that is the good thing about Australia. Yes, thank you. Was that what you're trying to say? We have Medicare, which is basically socialised healthcare, but it's not completely free, so to speak. You just sort of still got to pay a few thousand a year if you're a taxpayer, but you do get care. You don't get turned away by the hospitals. Yep, there goes a guy with his big V8 Toyota Land Cruiser. He actually was good. He didn't accelerate too hard that time. Oh man, the battery on this one's no good. Oh well. Is ScoMo watching? Probably munching on his coal chips. Now, if we want to talk Australian politics, since it is a pretty hot topic right now, given that we've just had our election, I'll be very curious to see how Scott Morrison goes with the Liberal Party. Fair note to those of you who aren't Australian, the Liberal Party is not really very liberal at the moment. They're kind of like the antithesis of liberal. They're more of the conservative party, appealing to people who don't want things to change and people who have plenty of money, like Gina Reinhardt. But I'm hoping maybe with ScoMo, since he's not under duress, or at least doesn't appear to be under duress for getting into his position, we might see the Liberal Party return back to what the Liberal Party should be, in which case then they'll have my support. Because while I may be a bit of a left-leaning on the social issues, and I do believe, particularly for Australia, that due to our low population density and our vast land, which is kind of redundant in saying that, a great deal of our infrastructure does need to be socialised, because private entities will simply not want to waste their money, and I can't blame them one bit. It's a massive country. Like, you look at Telstra or whatever, and the place is huge, and we've only got the population of New York State. Again, maybe that's redundant. Should it just be New York, and you should actually say New York City? Do you enjoy Vegemite? Yes, I do. Vegemite, thinly spread. For the love of God, people, do not take note of when you see people spreading Vegemite on toast as if it's peanut butter. They're either full of crap, deliberately doing that, or they deserve to die. Because really, you just don't do it like that. Vegemite basically is salt paste. Just think of it as salt. And so, spread it thinly. It just seems to be a really bad joke when I see people... Oh man. That's right, I've got to undo the screen connector on this one. There. It's Vegemite, not peanut butter. For peanut butter, yeah, I slather that stuff on thick with lots of butter. That's the thing with Americans, I've noticed. What is the deal with not using butter on your bread? I see it so many times. It's like, how can you not have butter on your bread? Fairy bread and Tim Tams. Ah, yeah, fairy bread. Diabetes on toast. Tim Tams are definitely very nice. Vegemite is a New Zealand spread. What? You damn New Zealanders stealing everything of ours again. What next? You think you're going to have the best rugby team or something? You stole our sheep. You stole our heart. That's always a tough one to get off, that one. Ever box a kangaroo? No. And if you've seen that video of some guy socking a kangaroo in the jaw, I was kind of hoping he would end up getting dragged into the dam and drowned, because he was letting his dogs antagonize the kangaroo, so the kangaroo did what it should do, and that is defend itself. And kangaroos are very good at getting a hold of dogs, and they just take them into waterways and drown them. You put them into a headlock hold and drag them in. But that video of the guy, he was just being an idiot. You should never have let his dogs attack the kangaroo in the first place. Kangaroos can be very sweet and loving, right up until the point they punch your lights out. Actually, they don't, they just kick you. But kangaroos aren't really the big issue. If you really want to die in Australia, just get in the way of a cassowary. They'll finish you off. I believe someone in Florida just died recently from a cassowary. And if you're not sure what a cassowary is, Google it. And it's essentially a dinosaur. What's your thoughts on the import and disban of Hawaii products in the US? Yeah, I'm not really sure what the deal is there. Whether they're just, I think they're sort of, yeah, I really don't know enough. Is it part of the trade war game? But I know it's been happening prior to the trade war. I know in Australia there's been a bit of a conflict with Hawaii. I genuinely haven't dug in enough to it. Sometimes I think a lot of it is posturing in order to be able to leverage better deals somewhere else. Even rocks are poisonous. You're talking about stonefish? Hectech FPV, yes, T84, ZT T84. I do a fair bit of work on them, but someone in Australia sucked up the entire supply of available screens, and so I almost didn't do this one, but the person thankfully did have supposedly a working screen. I don't know yet whether it is. Petition for Paul to make drunk border beds, definitely not going to happen. Paul stopped drinking alcohol a great many years ago. When I got back from South Africa, I fairly much went cold turkey. Probably maybe had a glass of wine once a year. Other than that, cold turkey. Now, while I was in South Africa, though, that's a different story. A very painful one at times. Lots of life experience, as anyone who lives over there can attest to. Yeah, people talk about Australia being dangerous and tough and all that, but South Africa really wins there a lot more, in a bad kind of way. Someone's been in this, they've pulled this should be foam on that, it's not there. What was I going to say? Exact same behavior on both MagSafes. Yang Zone, the problem is that it was more probably coincidence, because the first one was a third-party one hooked up to my DC power supply. The second one was an original that I know has a dead side on it. So, yeah, I'd say the first... I don't think the behavior was identical, it just looked that way. But it wasn't identical. Wise Mobile got the stock, total MK. Well, you see, I was able to at least get screens from EasyFix. They list them, and I was getting them for a while, and I was just simply refitting. I was splitting out the glass, because these are easy. You just heat them up on the heat bed and they separate off. And then I went to go get some more and they're all completely out. But at the same time, I noticed on eBay that someone is now offering a T84 screen replacement service, and they weren't there before. So my guess is that they took over. They commandeered the supply and became the primary... this isn't going to come out. Yeah, became the primary service provider for this particular thing, which is a damn nuisance. Looks like I've missed all the messages. Oh, sorry guys. Someone asking if I'm sick, or whether I'm not sick, I'm just naturally croaky. Okay. Petition for Paul Daniels to pretend he is God of Lewis's YouTube chat. Huh? Probably better off just trying to put more Easter eggs into Lewis's software. And since I've got everybody's attention here, there's a few people who have sort of asked with regards to, my goodness, this is, I can't even put heat onto this. The origins and all that of OpenBoardView. Now, basically what happened is there was a person called Chlorodite who created the original source code base for OpenBoardView, and they released it, and that's the first version that you see Lewis do a video of from several years ago. And then a few other chaps popped along and added their contribution, a big one of being Pionov. I'm sure some of you have seen Pionov on the chat or around the place. Oh, I hate that noise. So bad. And there was also, I think it's Matt Stain something. And damn, the names are eluding me at the moment. Anyway, so all these people were contributing and creating OpenBoardView, and eventually what happened is, I think it was Pionov, or one of them, created, or PathMath I think, created a Linux version, and that's when I turned up, and I quite literally did just sort of like take over everything. Well, not in a American style takeover, since that's what we were all talking about, but I just started out, like if you look at the very original version, the video is still out there, so if you go have a look you'll see what it used to look like. But there were rendering limitations that I wanted to get around, so I thought, well, you know, I'm an open source coder, I can do this. There's a bit of C++, and I went along and infected it with my C, which Pionov hates, but you know, he loves his superiority over my limited C. Anyway, this is a refurb screen. So yeah, I just started adding lots and lots of stuff to OpenBoardView, and after a while we presented it to Lewis, and in order to do that I had to first capture Lewis's attention, and I did that by using my kitty cat Micro. It's pronounced micro, not micro, Micro. And so Lewis remembered the Micro's picture, and then eventually we managed to coax him into trying the new OpenBoardView, and he was pretty happy with that, and it sort of kept going from there, and I put, I think, about 9 months of work into that, and Pionov then helped out a lot as well. Pionov created the infrastructure to allow us to cross-compile the one source base to both Windows and Linux. Believe me, that saved me so much time. If there's one thing that I'll definitely always thank Pionov for, it's for the cross-compile ability. The next one was the autocorrect, auto-spelling facility on the search, which was very useful. Let's see. I was born in Adelaide. I wouldn't say I'm from Adelaide. I'm merely just, I spawned from there. That was my spawning point. Yeah, I should really check to see this functions before I close it up. Yeah, that'd be a smart thing to do, Paul. Assuming it's even got power. Alright, it's beating. So it's good. Now I just gotta stick everything else back on it. Okay. Does the software come with board views? No, it does not. And there's a reason for it. I would gladly give everybody a copy of my great big cluster of board views. But unfortunately, for legal reasons, it would be akin to me going up to Apple with a great big spiky implement that looks a bit elongated with spikes all over it, blades, and dipped in salt, iodine, and maybe a bit of adrenaline. And then I would hand that to them and they would just gently push me over and ram me with it, because that's what would happen if I start bundling board views with the software, with the OpenBoardView or FlexBoardView. So I can't do that for legal reasons, but what I would like to ask, since there's quite a few people here, is if someone out there is feeling enterprising and they've got the sort of diplomatic immunity from Apple doing that sort of thing, and if they've got a collection of board views and schematics together, then send me a message, set up a paid site if you like, whatever, have available a great big download blob, zip, whatever, pardon me, and I will link to those sites. I'm already linking to Badcaps because Badcaps is a fairly reputable sort of place I can send people to. There are some sites that I don't like to link to. I think one of them's like Kineflex or something like that, but all their files tend to be infected with some kind of virus at the moment. So if there's an enterprising individual out there who wants to put together a bundle and sell it, and they're immune to whatever laws, then let me know. Contact me. I'll be more than happy to send the link. I am also working on a new project, Boardview CAD, which I haven't yet quite sorted out, but it's going to give us the ability to create our own Boardview files. Particularly, this will be done in answer to the fact that I just cannot get iPhone board views of any decent quality. The ones that are out there from the pads files, they are pure junk. There's enough faults in them that if you use them to try and fix your phone, sooner or later that fault is going to bite you, and you're going to do something wrong and ruin your phone or the customer phone. So I'm not advocating the use of those. We did convert them, it just wasn't good enough. So you'll occasionally see me using them, but again, like I said, with full awareness of the fact that they are completely, utterly useless. It's more a case of they will show me where the part is, and in most cases where pin 1 is. There's a few where the pin 1 is not actually correct. So anyway, I'm looking at creating a community developed board views. It's kind of not that hard, because ultimately board views are, board views effectively, like all these MacBook board views, there's only really 3 elements in the data, and that is the pin, where it is on the board, what net it belongs to, and what part it belongs to. So it's just the 3 elements there. And with just those 3 pieces of data, we then create that whole layout. The last bit that is added, of course, is the outline of the circuit board itself. Okay, so that is a bit of extra data, but that's more of a secondary thing. The main thing is that the pins with the net and the part association is everything that you fundamentally need. All of these shapes are created heuristically, just through the placement and assumptions and things like that. So when FlexBoardView and OpenBoardView load these MacBook files, all they're reading is just pin locations and part names, and then the program works out how to create the shapes around it so that it kind of looks familiar. We have been working on some new boards, new import formats. Let's see, not that one. Let's see. Let me guess. I don't have any of these open. Boards. Damn it. I'm going to have to... I want to show you these because they are worth showing. Just transferring the files. Okay. So I think I broke something. Man, software crashed on me. What have I done? Oh, I know what I did. So, kill all -9. I overwrote a file handle. See if this one works. Not quite. Not you. We'll get the right one soon. Nope. This one's a big one. Huge one. Either that or I've got an infinite loop. In which case that's just more fun. I think I might have an infinite loop. Nope. I got a faulty file. Yeah. There we go. Schizophrenic board. 7339, I think. No, I can't find it. Anyway, these boards have slightly more information in them. You can see that the pads have actually got nice shapes, and you got like ovals and fingers, and proper sort of grounding pins. But this is a GenCAD file. We're also doing hyperlinks. We're doing FabMaster. Let's see what else we're doing. I can't remember now. Stuff. We're doing stuff. But we're adding more formats all the time. Now, when I say we, what's happening is I'm the main, obviously it's my project and everything like that, but I subcontract people to write various importers for me, or I put a bounty on some formats, and so if people want to earn a little bit of money, and I will be realistic, it is a little bit of money, not a lot, then there are formats that I need to, or I want to get decoded. And so, people just sort of go, alright, I'll take on that project. And the way you do it is you just write it for OpenBoardView, and if it's a new format, like check with me first, but if you're right for OpenBoardView and it works, then I'm paying out 100 US at the moment per file format. And I forgot to put in the sides because I was too busy yibber yabbering, and I can't jam that back in. So yeah, now one format that we do really want is the crikey, my brain's going on me now. Trying to think. Allegro, I think it is, binary format. The ASCII formats, they're easy enough to do, but the binary formats, they are hard because they're databases, and so subsequently you've got to have pretty much write a database decoder for each one. And you can't cheat sometimes. You can't just go and use say an open source GPL licensed decoder, if one exists even, because the GPL license is not compatible with the MIT license that we use for OpenBoardView. Right, that fits. Alright, let's see what things I'm missing here. So, boom, inventions. If you can do it in 20 minutes, I'll still pay you $100. But, yeah, good luck. If you go to the OpenBoardView GitHub page, and if you look in the issues, you will see the various file formats that we need decoded. And yeah, like I said, I'm coughing up the money so that OpenBoardView can get more supports. Okay, that's good. Now I can put the big ones in. So live does still work on this channel? Yeah. Is this Lewis's live channel, or is this Lewis's main channel? Missing camera? No, we've only got the two cameras. This is from the one that we stole all the parts from. I don't think my hands are that big. It's an optical illusion. That, or it's because, you see, here in Australia, because we are part of the anti-round earth society, the lenses have to be adjusted so that we don't get any of that fake NASA curvature of the earth stuff. And so subsequently many things can look a little bit bigger. Main channel. Oh jeez. I did not realize that. Whoops, that's 820,000 people then. So for those of you who don't know me, is Hi around? Hi, you doing your job? No, you're not. You're sleeping, aren't you? My name is Paul Daniels, but that's on the title. Now, I don't do quite as many videos as Lewis, and I certainly don't do advanced stuff on MacBooks like Lewis does. I mean, he just dives into things like A1707s, whereas I sort of stand back at the shoreline and scream kind of like shark or something. 1707! I'm good with the earlier model stuff, but at this point, yeah, 1707s can make me squeal a little bit. I do work on them. I just wish I didn't have to sometimes. Alright, so that phone's fixed. This one here, I don't know what the person wants me to do with it. Here's the conundrum, is like, do you put it back together, or do you leave it in pieces for parts? Thank you, Hi, thank you. Yes, appreciate that. Yes, from my from the web link that Hi is putting up, you can get to my YouTube channel. I've got something like 320 videos there. Some of them have cats, some of them have model aircraft. Most of them are MacBook related, or PC related, or electronics related, or cat related. But yeah, I don't really have the same degree of opinionation that Lewis does, or I certainly don't entertain quite that way. So if you're looking for that, then I'm not your guy. I tend to be a bit of a nice and bland type activity, unless of course it comes to animals, and then I'm all in for that. I do like looking after animals, protecting animals, saving animals of all sorts. I am putting this back together. Somehow this channel is now tainted with Android repair. Oh my shocks. Don't forget the SD card. Thank you. Who said that? Mr. Timaway, thank you very much. Thank you. I genuinely would have forgotten that. Yeah, I never know which way this one goes in. Never know if it's up or down. I think it's down. Okay, thank you, Mr. Timaway. Am I vegan? No, I'm not. I'm not even vegetarian, but I don't eat a lot of meat anymore. It's not really... Oh man, I forgot to put that in. I don't know what I just did then. It's really just I just don't have the urge to eat meat much. If I am going to eat meat, it's predominantly fish, chicken or turkey. I have found if you do prefer to not eat beef and things like that, then turkey is actually a profoundly good substitute for pork. We do stir fries with turkey strips, and honestly the first couple of times I tried it, there was no way I could tell the difference between that and pork, which really pleased me because I'm not keen on the idea of eating pork. Those critters are a little bit too smart for me to be eating like that. Anyway, that's just a personal thing. But overall, I just prefer to cut down on my general consumption of meat. I really should be eating more vegetables anyway. What phone is that? This is a ZTE T84, which is marketed in Australia as the Telstra Tough Phone. It's one of two tough phones. The other one is the Telstra Dave, which is actually a pretty god-awful comparison. But you can at least get parts for the Dave still. For bacon, we take turkey spam, slice it up, fry it in olive oil. It's not the same as bacon, but it works as a decent substitute in a sandwich or something like that. But overall, I don't have the urge. I don't think I've eaten a steak in a long time now. Yet I used to. I used to eat a lot of steak. I don't know whether it's an age thing or something, but I'm much happier with a good bowl of fried rice or something like that. It could be an age thing. It's just like the body saying, oh man, we don't want to have to try and digest that. Pick something else. And since this is Lewis's channel, I'm going to say that I love coffee, because coffee is one of the most fantastic substances on the planet. And I don't care if Lewis doesn't stand the smell of it. So tough luck, buddy. The steak definitely has to be done exceptionally well. And pardon the pun, but most of the time steak is butchered on the frying pan. And you just end up with this meaty tasting hunk of unhappiness. Yeah, well, coffee is the nectar of the life. Absolutely it is. So I still use a stovetop pot, one of those aluminium sort of screw together ones that you just put on the top of your stove. I probably have about 3 cups of those a day. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't use any of these pods or anything like that. I enjoy the process of making it as well, because it takes probably 5 minutes at least by the time you clean the mocha pot, set it up, put it on the stove, wait around. But it gives me a chance to do some dishes, feed the cats, wake up. Stir-fried pork chop is pretty delicious. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't deny that, particularly with like sweet and sour sauce and stuff, but I really just don't get the hankering for it anymore. Alright, so these phones are done. Another job done. I was going to say another job well done, but we'll just say another job done. French press, I do have those as well, but I just can't get enough bite out of the French press. I prefer a little bit more of a espresso kick. So the mocha pot gives me that compromise. It's like it's not quite the espresso, but it's also not as insipid as the French press. Nothing wrong with the French press. I mean, that and drip filter coffee can be very nice. Fixed. Okay. Alright. Is the Samsung S5 still worth buying $29? I'd say not. Mostly because I think they're all running into eMMC issues, I think. So someone who knows their stuff would probably be able to chime in on that. But I am seeing them turning up more and more. Not that I service them, but I just see them turning up with eMMC issues. I managed to fix one the other day just by pure luck. By fix, I mean I just kept trying it till it worked. And it worked long enough for me to get the data off for the person, and that was it. And I just said to him, just, get rid of it. Do I prefer Robusta or Arabica? I really haven't had a chance to try good of both lately. So at the moment I'm sort of cheating, and I just use Vittoria Oreo, which is Arabica. What? I'm just reading the chat now, so it might help if I move it over here. And at least then I don't look like I'm not looking at you. Okay, scratch the nose, because, hey Ray Palmer, I'm doing good. I'm a lefty? Yes, I am a lefty. If you do not like the bitterness, just add a pinch of salt. Yes, that works actually quite well. Voice and accent are so soothing. Now I'm going to get self-conscious about that and feel a little weird. Did I put the 2GB SD back in the phone? I did, yes, thank you very much. Let's see. What do we have here? Who's this? Player unknown. I am Paul Daniels. I am the magic man that makes the software for Lewis Rossman. The one that he's constantly cursing out and using as a punching bag, just like he uses Apple as a punching bag. Where is Rossman? Rossman hopefully is frolicking in a good time right now. Hopefully. I was supposed to do the stream earlier, but things came up. Paul, your desk is dirty. Yes, it is very dirty. All this stuff behind me. I'm still trying to organize my stuff. I want to try the cat poop coffee. Is that like the elephant poop one, where they rely on the digestive juices to be able to break down the various aromatic compounds? Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to do that. Elephant may be able to push, but cat, no thanks. This stream needs more profanity. I'm afraid it does not. Boardview files created of PDFs. No. Boardview files and PDF files are actually very different in their data. There's the overlap, of course, which is the part names and the network names. But aside from that, they share, they're structurally very different. Boardview files are mostly, let me bring up a couple and show you what they look like. GVim, yes, we're going to go GVim. Oops. I won't be able to show you the, let's see, let me just get to it and then. Let's see if I can bring this up. And I can go back for all in. Alright. So this is a GenCAD Boardview file. So you can see it's GenCAD. I know it's probably a little small. Let's see if I can make that bigger. You guys are going to make me regret this. The PDF combo. Talking head. Yeah, we'll just whatever. So yeah, this is a GenCAD board file, and ideally this is what board files are like. It's just a great big long sequence of fairly boring looking bits of data. What have we got here? This is a pin stack definition, or a pin, no, it's but it's just all this sort of data, and get this out of the way. Yeah. Alright. Let's get back to the all in. No. So there's nothing really, ideally there's nothing really fancy in a Boardview file. It's just data saying where a pin is, what part it belongs to, what network it's on, what pad shape the pin has around it in this particular GenCAD format. In the BRD files that we use for MacBooks, it's really only just pin placement, part it belongs to, network it belongs to, and that's it. And everything else just is created by guessing, and the board outline. So, Andrew Art, let's see. Have any stream improvements? Oh yeah, hi. Damn it, hi, I didn't see you. J-Tree, I just fixed two things. I fixed a MacBook at a dead ISL 625, no, whatever. Don't expect me to remember. That's one thing Lewis I find is really good at. He can just rattle off numbers. He remembers song placements, times, lengths. He remembers part numbers. He can recite backwards all the defects in the board numbers and everything. He's just a walking encyclopedia in that respect. Me, I have to Google every morning what my name is, but from that I can still manage to live life. So, how do Apple schematics get leaked to the public? I'm not sure, to be honest. When I do wish audio is unsynced, crap, I can't do much about that, I'm afraid. Yeah. I'm going to blame OpenBoardView, I'm sorry. Not OpenBoardView. Good on you, Lewis, you made me blame my own software. Open Broadcaster, I'm blaming Open Broadcaster. What's the 2x4? Well, it's not 2x4, but it's 70 by 35. And this is for propping up my workbenches. I've got to install a bunch of new shelves to put my job boxes in. Let's see. I'll show you a job box. Alright, so this is a typical job box. It's a 14-litre Sistema container, and I will normally have a laptop in pieces in here. Instead, we've got spare MacBook boards. But I have found they're good containers, but I have found that I can't really afford to stack them. Because what happens is you stack 2 or 3 up, you always want to get the one that's at the bottom. So I have to put shelves in on the benches under here so that I can just have one box per shelf. So that's what that is all for. I will subscribe. You put a link in the description. I'll have to work out how to do that. Hi, can you do that? I'll put my YouTube channel in here, I think. Gee, I hope this is right. Alright. 2x4 sounds easier. Yeah. Well, it's not even, 2x4, that'd be 100 by 50, but this is 70-35. Have you considered using Qt instead of ImGUI? No. Well, yes, we have, but the trouble is the cross-portability of it. There's also the licensing issue of it. See, OpenBoardView is MIT licensed, and so ImGUI fits with that, whereas Qt has the GPL type system. You can license it from Qt to be commercial, but then of course that's money that we just don't have. Plus, there's no compelling reason really for us to do that. It works well enough. It looks a little bit industrial, but hey, look at some of the EDA software that's running the factories. This stuff looks positively modern. Lewis never promotes me now. He always constantly beats on me. Let's see. Me trying to juggle study and fun, and then the random hi. Where's this? Well, I'm sorry, hi. That's your job. What are you studying anyway? Studying how to be a good worker for Lewis. So, all right. It's coming on 9 o'clock now. So I've been at this for almost 2 hours, hour and a half, something like that. So I better get scooting and get some food. I've got some programming to do, and I've got to sort out paperwork and things like that. But I appreciate that you all stuck around, given that I am just the substitute. And as I said at the beginning, when people substitute other people for the streams, I usually get pretty upset about that. So hopefully not too many of you up and ran, but thank you very much. J-Tree, if you want to give us more money, then if you go to my website, pldaniels.com, there is a forbidden link there, which is PayPal. But of course I can't say that on stream because Lewis doesn't approve. So you can put contributions in there. To be fair, that would be to me, not to OpenBoardView. So make up your mind about that. Although it will tend to funnel back into OpenBoardView. Why not browser.js based? Why not COBOL? I think that would be good too. Let's see. Someone said hello from Adelaide. Hello, Adelaide? From a former Adelaide person. So anyway, well, thank you all for sticking around. Thank you very much for your comments. Sorry I couldn't get everybody's comment read there. I don't know how Lewis does this. And when Lewis reads back on this, hopefully he doesn't have a flying fit and kill me. So if you don't hear from me on my own stream for a while, or my own YouTube channel, you know what Lewis did to me. So phone up the police, 911 or whatever it is, and let him know. Until then, you all take care. I'll see you later.